I made this video because I'm constantly getting questions from my viewers about eye relief. I will admit that some scopes that I've used over the years just don't seem to match manufacturers' listed specifications for eye relief at all. Looking at specifications for a scope, if it says 3.5 inches of eye relief, most people assume that they kind of get that at any magnification. Unfortunately, that's usually just not true. Eye relief usually changes to some degree with magnification. The amount of variance will depend on the scope's ocular design and some other factors. Some scopes have almost constant eye relief across their entire range of magnification, while other scopes have just huge variances between high and low power magnification. Some companies give us eye relief numbers as an average. Others use the highest number, still others will use the lowest number, and some companies measure eye relief from the lens itself on the inside, while others measure their eye relief from the outer edge of the eye cup. In this video, I'll force feed you a dose of reality and I'll show you some real eye relief numbers. Eye relief is an issue for two reasons. First of all, everyone is shooting powerful new Magnum cartridges like the PRC cartridges in lightweight hunting rifles, and they want enough eye relief so they don't get scoped. Secondly, you want the best sight picture, field of view, optimum eye box, and no user-induced parallax error while you're shooting, and proper eye relief helps with those issues. Another reason that eye relief became such a problem today is that hunters are using more magnification than they ever have before. Where you really see the discrepancy is with these awesome modern do-it-all type scopes that have power ranges, sometimes something like 2 to 18 power. A scope like that might have 4 inches of eye relief at 2 power and under 3 inches at 18 power. We're currently using more magnification than we ever have out in the hunting field, and eye relief expectations often aren't being met as a result of that. In the next chapter, I'll attempt to show you some real eye relief numbers. In this chapter, I'm going to show you some real eye relief numbers for various scopes, and I'm going to compare them to the manufacturer's claims. To eliminate human error, I won't be looking through scopes to determine eye relief. I'll measure functional eye relief using a flashlight jig. I'll move the image back and forth until I find the smallest, sharpest point, which is the exit pupil focal point for proper eye relief. Then I'll measure the distance between the paper and the edge of the eye cup. Then I'll measure the distance between the edge of the eye cup and the middle of the lens. And I'll add that to the total to get an accurate number for eye relief. I'm measuring eye relief from the middle of the ocular lens, and I'm measuring in millimeters, but I'll convert it to inches for you. Also be mindful that this test was not conducted under strict laboratory conditions. I'm eyeballing the focal point and measuring to the nearest millimeter with a ruler and a set of calipers. But this test should give you a general idea of each scope's eye relief. I honestly haven't tested scopes like this in a long time, but some of the results really surprised me. Nightforce and Smith & Bender do a great job of keeping eye relief variances very minimal throughout their magnification ranges. Trijicon really needs to dump the lower value on their stated eye relief ranges because it's just way off. The technical staff at Trijicon really needs to revisit their eye relief numbers because they're way off for some of their scopes and they're actually doing themselves a disservice. And to confuse matters, some scope specs are listed at maximum eye relief, like Schmidt and Bender, while others seem to be an average of eye relief across all magnifications, like Nightforce. Remember, this test did not measure eye box, which is very important and really can become a problem with a lot of scopes at higher magnifications. Even if there is plenty of eye relief, eye box is very important. So don't confuse eye relief with eye box. This test only covered eye relief, which is only one part of the big picture. Eye relief is a measure of distance, and eye box is a measure of volume. People who are not optics savvy often confuse these two terms. Some scopes, like older Nightforce scopes, have a really tight eye box that's often hard to get behind. And most of the high-end European scopes have very generous eye boxes that are very easy to get behind. So eye box might be more important to you than eye relief itself. So before you get your panties in a bunch about eye relief, you need to understand that it's just one attribute of what makes a scope good or bad. Things like eye box, exit pupil, tracking, and especially glass quality and scope durability are much more important than eye relief is. Also realize that modern ocular lens technology gives manufacturers the ability to bias eye relief at just about any magnification that they want. So I simply compared the highest number to the lowest number and gave you that in my test. To me personally, eye relief is very important on my dangerous game rifles and on big magnums, but it doesn't really matter too much beyond that. The flashlight method of determining eye relief is very old, and as far as I know, it hasn't been debunked when done properly. An old gunsmith that taught me this method learned it from another gunsmith, and it turns out that guys that are really serious about telescopes also use the flashlight method to determine eye relief. Basically, you use a small flashlight and place it almost against the center of the objective lens and measure. I mean, you'll find that older scopes often have huge variances in eye relief between high and low magnification. And many modern new high-end scopes do not have a huge variance between high and low magnification. Modern ocular designs and the ability to bias optimal eye relief gives modern high-end scopes a huge advantage over optics of the past. Also understand that this test method that I use is not 100% exact, and my eye relief numbers could be a couple of millimeters off. Well, I really hope that you enjoyed this thought-provoking video. Thank you for watching, and as always, good hunting.